one huge, gorgeous master bedroom. I don't want to be the one going, you here, you here, you here. That's just not cool.
Because then we go, choose your favorite. Choose your favorite.
Hey fam, hey, welcome back to my channel. We are back for another episode of Sister Wives Season 18. Now y'all, before we get into it, we got to get into some housekeeping. Number one, if you have been here from the beginning, you know that all I say about this show, these women, and these situations is all about my opinion. We all got them, we can express them, and I'm going to express mine. I don't know these people, and I'm only commenting on what they show us. No more, no less. We joke, we kiki, and hopefully you get a chance to escape into this world of reality TV with me. Because why not? Number two, I am very, very close to 1.8 thousand subscribers, and I would love to reach that and beyond, so I need your help. I need you to help me with the algos. That's the algorithms. So share with your friends, because sharing is caring. Last but not least, I am never sure week to week exactly what day I can do this specific content, because there's a lot of change going on. Some really big things, actually, that I'm really excited about, but I cannot share just yet. But please don't give up on me. Keep coming back and make sure to hit the noti button so that when I do come hang out with y'all, you'll know. So now that we have got all the boring stuff out of the way, DJ, drop that beat.
Savannah, were decent to each other. It wasn't like super great and close because during COVID, people had different opinions about the rules. So we just didn't know what to do with each other. So we kind of kept our distance. I kind of just feel shocked and confused. And like she doesn't care. I don't know what the right word is. It kind of just broke my heart a little. Because, I grew up with her. Grew up with all of them. Sorry. Can we cry? I don't want to cry.
Y'all, you just watched Masterpiece Theater at its finest. And I will tell you, I would have used the theme music to Masterpiece Theater, except I probably would have gotten a copyright strike, and I don't want that. I will say up front that the only parts of this episode I'm going to talk about are those parts that really stood out for most of us who are watching this episode of Sister Wives. Before we get into that part, though, I do want to say, was the beginning music not a bop? I don't know who is doing their editing of music for this show, but they are really starting to branch out. They are trying different genres of music. We sometimes have kind of a hip hop thing going on, like at the beginning of this episode. We've had kind of a down home, boot scoot and boogie kind of a feel. We've had some classical things. I don't know who their music editor is. Maybe they're new, but that open number was a bop. So I just decided to go ahead and use it for my music for tonight. But yeah, we're going to talk about those parts of this episode that really just stood out. We know that, Garrison has a house. We know that Christine went out for her ex-anniversary, and she hung out with some friends who asked her some questions. But the parts that stood out the most began with a conversation in the kitchen. Christine is making a salad bar. She calls that cooking. You know what? For some people it is, but we know that Christine looks like, because I have not tried her food, so I'm going to say Christine looks like she can throw down in the kitchen, at least in the eyes of her family. Today she decided, I'm going to do a salad bar, which leads me to believe that this was not something that she really planned to do. But I want to say that Puddle Monkey said, we want to hear more from some of the older kids. Let's just do a scene where you can ask them a few questions and get a little bit of insight. So the person in the kitchen who is helping her get the salad bar ready is Savannah. Was I surprised that Savannah did not speak to her siblings at school? No, I wasn't. Number one, we know that this family has been torn apart straight down the middle by Mrs. Squarejaw Brown herself. We know that these girls have been made to believe that they are the princesses in the castle. We are separate. We are better. You came to their RV when Savannah and Janelle were living in it, and you called her room the dog's room. You called the bathroom shower a foot bath. So am I surprised she doesn't talk to them? Absolutely not. Did I feel bad for Savannah? Only in the way that I think Savannah feels like, that's my sister, kind of. So I should talk to her. I'm sure that other kids at school watch the show and wonder, why don't they talk to each other? I'm sure she's probably even had friends ask her, why don't you talk to her? Isn't that your sister? Now, whether or not Savannah has run down why she may not talk to them, I don't know. But the part I really want to talk about is this moment on the couch where we get to see the most sad representation of two young women that I think I have come in contact with from afar in a very long time. Now let's just concentrate on the first actor in our story. She has been watching her mother do this for so long that she has now adapted the way of the crying sensei. She has watched her mother pretend to dab tears. She has watched her mother sit on that couch and work herself into that downward frown that she will not turn upside down into a smile. She's copied it. She's even taken on the verbiage that her mother uses. I was so hurt and confused. You know, I'm going to tell you now, and this is woman to young woman, because you are not that young. So I'm going to say woman to young woman. Do not let that be how you go into life. This feigning victimhood, this crying to get your way. I'm just going to say it because it's my channel. The white woman tears syndrome. We all have things that we need to cry about, but I'm so sorry. This right here, I understand that it would hurt you, but you also have to understand, young lady, that your mother and your father have spoon-fed you some lies. And I think that as you get older and as you are able to come out of your room, out of the bubble, and see what has been going on, you may look back on these moments of you pretending or being like your mother, and you're going to feel a little bit bad. You're going to feel a little bit duped. Kind of like your mom said she felt duped coming into the family. I think you're going to realize when you do end up talking to your older siblings that you grew up with and you are so sad, you know, you're going to start to hear some things that's going to shock your socks off if you are open to hearing it. On that same vein, reaching out to your siblings goes both ways. So you're saying that you are cordial to Savannah, but what about stopping her in the hallway and saying, hey, you know our parents aren't getting along, but that doesn't mean we don't have to be this way. We don't have to act like we don't get along. We can say hi. It goes both ways, but I think you've been taught not to do that. You've been told that your siblings don't like you. You have been given how your siblings feel and how you should feel, and we've seen that happen, and so you're buying into it. And that's really too bad. Really too bad.
When I lived in Flagstaff, I firmly believed that moving to Utah was the best choice for me and for Truly.
I knew that I was taking Truly away from her dad. I felt like the best way to preserve Truly's relationship with Kody was to move her away from him. And I know it sounds bizarre. I know it sounds like that doesn't quite compute. It's almost like I froze it in time. I preserved it. I took the relationship while it was still good, and I picked it up and I moved it. And then whenever we come back into town, I just pick it up again and I move it back. And it's preserved.
For Christine to think that she's saving my relationship with Truly by taking her away from me and just preserving it, that's such BS rationalization that I'm laughing now because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, Christine, I'm not sure about this. I have thought about this over the days that I was going to go ahead and do this review. And I understand what she's saying. I totally get that she's like, listen, Truly is still in an age where she still fits into the demographic of who he cares about in terms of the kids and their age. Because, of course, he says that he always likes to take care of the minor children. Now, let's be real about this and say that unless you belong to Square Jaw Brown, you are not really at the forefront of Angry Spice's mind, right? So even though Truly fits into the minor children category, Savannah pretty much still fits into the minor children category. Their mothers are not people that Kody like right now. So he is going to treat them sort of how he is feeling about their parents. So he has to walk this line, I think, of feeling like, well, if she asks me to babysit Truly, then I will. But, I'm not going to go out of my way. So I can see what Christine says. I'm going to leave now. I'm going to take Truly. Truly still believes right now that she and her dad have a great relationship, even though he tried to make you shovel snow the last time we saw you hang out with him as a way to hang out, whatever. So I'm going to take that memory and I'm going to sort of try to freeze it and put it in a capsule. And then when she comes back, it's going to be like it never changed. Here's the problem with that train of thought. Yes, you can preserve some of the past memories for her, but once she gets back into town and she sees how he might be relating to Square Jaw Brown's kids, she might feel some way. Unless she is being treated exactly the same way when she's there, she's going to notice and feel the difference. Truly is a very smart girl, and she expresses herself very well. So you cannot tell me that if he is treating her at all differently than he's treating the favorite children, that she won't notice. So I get what you're trying to say, Christine. I get what you're trying to do, but I'm not sure it's 100% working as well and the way that you would like it to work. Let's go on.
You guys haven't seen, I don't think you guys have seen your dad for a while, right?
Nope.
Have you heard from him?
Nope. I remember him saying something along the lines of he only cares about his minor children or something like that. We passed the French dressing room.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, man, I just work here.
I can observe that Kody seems to have trouble relating to his older children, and he seems to dote on the younger children. And when my children were younger, it was very easy for him to be a father, right? Because he was still kind of this important. He was important to them. His opinion mattered to them. His guidance mattered to them. And now, because they question it a little bit, I think it might be harder for Kody to feel like he's respected.
Before all the hurt feelings that happened through COVID, Kody's relationship with his older children, a lot of them were really, really good. Christine left and all that changed.
I don't know about y'all, but every time this woman comes on the screen, it is the most frustrating, nauseating, upsetting thing to see her there with another floral printed top, her hair curly sewed out, and that frown that she just refuses to turn upside down. I have never truly seen anybody but a cartoon character permanently keep their mouth in that position for as long and as for many days as she does. I understand that that is the posture that she is taking so that she still looks like the hurt, scorned victim who came to the family cap in hand and only tried to be sweet and a part of the family. Lies. lies. And as I've said in a previous video, all you have to do is use this newfangled thing called streaming. And you can watch what has happened over the 10 years. And here's what I think. I think she has. I think she has gone back and watched some of what people are talking about. Because as much as she would like you to believe that she does not hear what we are saying out here, I guarantee you she does. Because not only is she sitting in her house with nothing to do, because I don't think she works except for defunct My SisterWives closet, even if she didn't watch these episodes, she goes out into the community and people see her. Now, the only pictures that you see posted are of people who smile and take a snapshot and whatever. But I bet you there are people out there who say things like, hey, why are you separating your husband from his kids? Why don't you invite them to Christmas? Why don't you try to reach out without being the victim when you do? Here's the thing. When you reach out to people, you cannot reach out with a motive. So, you had an in for the Christmas text. You didn't come in and say, hey, I think this is a great idea. I'm so glad that you guys are continuing to do this. We may be going through our troubles, but I love that you are still coming together to do this Christmas exchange. My kids would love to be a part of it. Let us know how we can be involved. You don't get into the conversation and say, do it this way, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. And then when it doesn't go your way, accuse the group of people that you're trying to get in with of being separatist and excluding you and voting you off the island. At this point, you need to be voted off the island. Put the torch out. Bye. Go. You can't do that. You just can't. So the heartbreaking thing about this clip for me was that they all sat around at a dinner and talked about how they hadn't seen their father since COVID. He only wants to deal with his minor children. And that basically, yeah, I see one of the kids and one of them is cool, but that's it. Now let's go back to the idea of the minor children, because Truly is not here for this conversation because she is indeed one of the minor children. Christine had to ask Kody to babysit her, and he did say yes. I mean, we don't know how readily he said yes or whatever. Hopefully he was like, sure, of course. He did ask if she could stay the night, which was awesome. I'm glad it's not snowing outside. Otherwise, that's the labor she would be doing while she visited. But that shows you, though, that you only care about certain minor children. This is nothing new. We've all said it as content creators and influencers. But I think there's something to be said for the fact that this is what you tout. My minor children, my minor children, my minor children. Yet you have minor children that you don't keep in contact with because you're mad at their mothers. Sorry, sir. Not what you signed up for. Not at all. In my marriage vows, I did not say that I would only deal with things as long as it went my way or it fit into my way of being and doing things. It's not what marriage is. It's not what you signed up for. And you've had children. You are forever connected. So I don't know if maybe you're going to relinquish that relationship with Truly when she turns 18. I hope not. I hope you stay close. And I say quotes, air quotes with close, because I don't know how close you really are. If it's only when she comes into town, I can't imagine that you're that close. So frustrating. Let's go on.
Is forgetting who you guys are.
For the last 20 years, we've had a gift exchange where we draw names and we pick a gift for another sibling for the name we drew.
I have Aurora.
Aiden! Wow! Brianna Rose!
So Aspen started this text thread saying, hey, it's time to do the gift exchange.
So Robin was like, we need to do it over Zoom. And everybody else was like, well, that has like not a personal feel. So everybody was like giving up ideas. And I think I was like, we can make it a competition, whichever moms do it quicker or something. And then Robin made it all about herself and mentioned something about trauma, how there's a bunch of past trauma. Which, by the way, where's the trauma coming from? Because Dad prefers them.
Yeah.
We can all agree on this, right?
From my perspective, Kody did not choose us. My kids and I wanted to be a part of this family and wanted to be accepted and loved by everyone.
So here we start talking about the Christmas text thread that went back and forth. about the gift exchange. We have heard over the past week or so about who started the gift exchange text thread. There's been several different people who have said they were the ones who started it. But really, when it comes down to it, what we really care about is how it got thwarted by Square Jaw Brown up in her mansion. She decided to insert herself in something that has been a tradition. Now, she's done this before because, of course, there was the tradition of a picture that did not include Kody Brown, but it did include her ex-husband, which, I would get it. If I got divorced, I don't think I'd want to have pictures around, but that doesn't mean that I get to just erase their father from history and have a picture drawn that includes him in a time when those kids didn't even know who he was. So we know that she's done this before in a very subtle way. This time that she thought she could shoot her shot as the only legal wife and try to weasel in and say, well, I think you should do it over Zoom, to which the kids responded with, well, that doesn't really have a very personal feel, right? And so she decided that because they couldn't do it that way, and little Ariella is not remembering who the kids are, that, she was just going to say, through McKelty, apparently, and Logan, we're not going to do Christmas with them. So herein lies the problem again. Like, you keep proving yourself to be the common denominator. You don't get your way, so you don't reach out to someone who might have been in charge of the text thread. Now, it could have been Logan, but if it was McKelty, your fave, like, why couldn't you just say to her, hey, would you mind getting everyone together and let's just have a talk about how this is going to go? Why I suggested that maybe we do it over Zoom. She did say that little Ariella doesn't remember any of her brothers and sisters, but that's your fault. That's your fault. Because you found a way to do everything else you needed to do, including your shopping spree to, Victoria's Hush Hush with no mask, in a time when people were still masking up to go out. You found a way to get there. You found a way to go and have lunch or dinner. We've seen the pictures of that with no mask in a time when people were still masking up. People are still masking up today. Heck, I do. So just like you could find a way to make it possible to have that birthday party with which you spread or could have spread COVID to your family, after that, you could have found several ways to go ahead and get together and make sure that Ariella knows who her brothers and sisters are. Heck, show her a picture. Show her pictures and go, that's Maddie, that's Gwen, that's Garrison, that's Gabe. You have to put in the work. I know you have a nanny, but maybe assign that task to the nanny since you don't feel like doing it. Give the girl some sibling playing cards and do some memory game. Find the sibling card. Anyway, so that when she grows up, she doesn't walk down the street, see one of these people, and not know who they are because you can't get your stuff together, because things don't go your way, because you are always the victim, because you feel you got voted off the island, because your mom told you you're the Brown family scapegoat. Get it together. Get it together.
COVID.
Me and Gabe have bumped into each other a few times on campus. There are hugs given, well wishes, I love yous, just sort of like checking in on each other. Personally, Gabe has been nothing but kind. So
we go back to the couch, and this is where I feel like there's a little glimmer of hope. A little glimmer of hope. Because we hear that Gabe has run into his siblings, Square Jaw Brown's daughter. He's run into her on campus. They've hugged. They've said, I love you. They've given well wishes. This is straight from her mouth. Okay? She has said that he is the only one in the family so far right now that has been nothing but kind. Okay, so let me go back and say, first of all, Robin has lied to her children. We know this. She has. She's lied. She's told these kids on several different occasions that none of the other family members care to be around them. It was filmed last season that they did not want to spend Thanksgiving with them. So they were going to go to different places. Never mind, you didn't sit there and tell them, listen, They're going to spend Thanksgiving other places because they have grown children with their own children other places. And they were going to spend a holiday with them. And then they're going to come back and maybe spend Christmas with us. That is a thing that happens. It happens with my family. It might happen with your family. I don't get to spend Christmas with my aunt who lives in Arizona every year. I don't get to spend Thanksgiving with with my husband's family every year. We're still trying to decide, and it is the end of October. We are still trying to decide where we are going to spend these holidays. So it happens. Janelle and Christine have children who do not live in Flagstaff. They want to go and spend a holiday there, and then they were perfectly willing to come back, test, quarantine, do all those things so that they could then spend the holidays with you. Now we're back around to this Christmas, and you're sitting on the couch saying, we've been told that during the thread about the gift exchange, they were going to do Christmas without us. They weren't going to tell us. They didn't really want us to be included. Listen to that. You've been told. These girls are way too old in age, because we know that they have been infantized by their parents. But in your age, at your big ages, you should be learning how to deduct and take apart and find the real story underneath, reading between the lines. I know they teach you about context clues because you go to public school. I was a teacher, so I know that we teach you how to see what's not being said. And if I ever have to say before something like this, I was told this, that automatically makes me think, well, there could be another side to the story. And I understand that if you've been sheltered and you've just been living in the McMansion and you haven't heard any other opinions, maybe you might feel that way, but you have been let out into the world a little bit, right? And I think this is where I say there's a glimmer of hope. Because here's a daughter who sees that there is a brown kid out there showing her some kindness. So maybe somewhere in there, she's like, whoa, well, if he's being kind to me, maybe if I run into someone else, they'll be kind to me. You now have Gwen who says, well, I'll go to the science building then. I'll go seek her out. I didn't know she was on campus like that. I'm going to go see if I can give her a hug, give her some well wishes, tell her I love her and miss her and want to hang out with her. Not with your mom, not with our dad, but I want to hang out with you because this is not between me and you. We don't have no beef. So maybe this is the beginning. Maybe this is where they start to realize, maybe my mom wasn't always telling the whole story. Maybe there's some more to it. Maybe I'm just really hopeful. I would love to see them grow up and grow out of all of this deceit and lies and being told things that are not necessarily true. They need to go have a talk with Logan because I think Logan will straighten them right out.
This is a divorce. And in most senses, a divorce is a civil war. So she's just feeding flames in a civil war. And I think she's got some terrible karma coming.
I have to say, I hope that I never experience a divorce. I claim that I will never experience a divorce. But, no stuff, Sherlock. Yeah, this is divorce. It's not just divorce like she woke up one day and said, I don't think I want to be married to you anymore because I've just changed my mind. This is 10 years of mental, I'm going to say. And again, I'm not a psychologist. I cannot diagnose anyone. I don't know anyone connected to this family. I don't know her. I don't know him. But just watching back over the show, like once you brought your new piece of candy in, it's been a lot of dismissing. You've told the woman that you're not attracted to her. You've shared with the world how disgusted you were with her when you first met her. You've said that she begged to become a part of this family. And, here's where I hear the two faces of Kody, right? On the one hand, your favorite wife is saying he's not going to be told what to do. He's not the kind of man who's going to be told by his wife what to do. Yet you're saying that 2 of the 4 women in your marriage begged to be a part of your family and you just gave in and said, oh, okay. I think that says more about you than it does about any woman who would have walked up to you and asked to be a part of this asshatness. Okay. So there's that. And yeah, divorce can be like World War One, two, three, four, five, and all the ones that haven't happened yet. Right? So yeah, this is divorce. But you have a choice in this divorce. You seem to be really amicably splitting up from Janelle. You obviously have some affection and connection to Janelle. And I think that affection and connection comes from the fact that she is the business mind. She is the brains of this operation. It ain't you and it ain't Square Jaw. So it must be Janelle. So she's useful to you. The two that you don't want to have anything to do with anymore, which is Christine and Mary. Mary, you just see her as mean. She was the one who, brought the women in. And now Christine has left you and made her own decisions. And by gosh, don't do that. Don't have your own brain. That's not allowed. So karma, she's got some bad karma coming. Yeah, I'll take her karma over Square Jaw's life any day. Because if her karma includes living where she wanted to live all along, finding a place with her family and being happy, finding a man who loves her, who has married her, she is his only wife. They seem to have a great time. He accepts her kids, she accepts his kids. They're traveling to Disney World. Yeah, I caught that picture. Wearing shirts that say, I am his, I am hers. Y'all take that karma any day over anything you're going to give me. What you going to give her? Some bare land on Coyote Pass that just got paid off? Get the fuck out of here. Stop.
Stop! Obviously my marriage is not good. I don't think I really even am married anymore.
Do you know what she's talking about here? And what she's hinting at here? My heart just started pounding hard.
Being here at the B&B has become my safe space. Happy anniversary to me. Weird.
I've been married to 4 women. Everything's a test. Pick me. Do something for me. Do something for me.
Hi. How's it going, sweetheart?
Good. Kody wants to come over and see the new apartment that I've moved into.
I'm looking at this apartment. I'm like, I'm not even welcome here, I don't think.
It's very, very painful. It does not make sense to us because we're family. What the heck?
If he were to give me what I needed in a relationship, I would stay.
He's not going to stop being Robin's husband.
Before we have Kate, should we do presents and then have Kate? And Robin and I are going to be like this. You're not going to separate us.
He actually said to me, I have no desire, Mary, to have a relationship with you. I know that you are capable of loving me. You have loved me.
I can't be what you want me to be to you.
It's not fair for me to be alone like I have been for years.
This isn't what I want. Mary's not part of the equation. Too many heartbreaks. I don't let go.
Screw him. It's not worth it.
Y'all, tonight is gonna be fire. To start with the fact that Janelle is saying, I don't think I'm married anymore. That's big. That's big for Janelle. But we all see that it's coming and we all know where she ends up and where she is now. I love that she's able to go ahead and confide in Christine. Of course, Christine has been sort of pushing and hinting at the fact that she does need to go ahead and end that marriage. Janelle has got herself a brand new apartment, y'all, and it's sharp. It is no longer that little college dorm. So some of that money must be coming to Janelle. And I love that Kody says, I walk in the door and I don't feel like I'm welcome here. Because you're not. Love don't live here anymore. It don't. But I did notice that Savannah held and hugged him just a little bit longer than he did. He let her go because he was more concerned about what he was looking at. It may not be the mansion on the hill, but it's nicer than where she came from, which means she is moving up and on without you, which is what most of these women seem to do once they're not a part of your harem anymore. I do feel bad about Mary. She does realize that the B&B is her safe space, and I'm going to tell you, that was laid in the ground plan the moment you bought it, and I'm so glad that you did. That is why the sisters were not supposed to be involved. I don't know what the core belief is of the religion that they have, but I know that, things work out for your good if you just go ahead and move forward in faith that you're supposed to be doing what you're doing. You know, I don't care that Square Jaw is sitting on a bench crying her eyes out about what she doesn't want to lose because you were the beginning. I'm not going to say that they did not have problems because we all know that they did. But once he brought that woman in, and I'm not going to say or begrudge the fact that she may be the love of his life, but just like Christine says, once he meets the love of his life, the other women are screwed. I'm so glad that Mary's going to stand her ground and say, you know what, I don't need to be alone like I have been for the last 10 years. I can't cater to your feelings anymore. Robin, you haven't even called me in a couple of years. I had to sit and tell you that if you want me to be around, you're going to have to make the effort. So cry on, cry me a river, river deep, mountain high, all those things. All right, y'all. It's going to be a good one. And I can't wait to review it. Now, as I said at the beginning of my video, I can never promise when I'm going to put up content. But like I said, just stick with me. Life is lifing. Marriage is new. It's wonderful, but it's new. And I'm very busy at work. And again, like I said, I have some really amazing and exciting things coming up, some new chapters and journeys. And so I want to make sure that I'm taking care of those as well as taking care of my content. Please go ahead, like, share, subscribe. Please tell other people to help me with my algos, because that's going to get more funny content or more content in general back into your living rooms, your cars, or just on your screens. All right, y'all. I'm going to see y'all. I'm going to see y'all this week. Hopefully, I'm going to see y'all Monday, Tuesday. But like I said, no promises. But hang in there with me, y'all. All right. Remember, if there's anything you want to do, make sure you go out there and do it because there's enough room for everybody. Peace, love, and hair grease. We out. DJ, drop that beat one more time.